In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to cut this stylish underbust basque backless shirt, and this shirt is from Ri Ohen from Instagram. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. So to start, I marked a button allowance in front of my pattern, which is about 2.5 or 3 inches. This will be serving as my button allowance for the dress. So all my measurement is starting after that line. So I'll just go ahead to outline it to make it more visible. So I'll go ahead to label as my bust and as my waist. And for the basket effect for this shirt, go ahead to add 3 to 4 inches. For the basque on the dress, it totally depends on what you want. So I'll go ahead and place my tape, and I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder to underbust, which I did not mark because basically when you're making a shirt, you don't need an underbust measurement. So I'll just go ahead to mark my underbust because of the underbust effect we have on the shirt, and I'll go ahead to label this. So after I'm done marking this, I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder is 14 divided by 2, which is 7, and all my measurement is starting immediately after that line. I went down by 1 inch, and I'll go ahead to connect or draw out my shoulder slope. The next step is to find your chest line, and to do that is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. I made a mark on that point, and I'll go ahead to draw out a straight line. After I'm done marking this, I'm going to go ahead to mark back what I have on the shoulder on my chest line, then place my ruler, and I'm going to connect drawing a straight line. So now I'll go ahead to divide what I have here into 2, and I'll mark. Come in by ½ inch here, and after I'm done marking, I'll go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll place this ruler, and I'll connect from the shoulder to the ½ inch and all the way to the chest line. At that point, I have my bust circumference, and I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline. Next, I'll be drawing out a basic neckline of 3 by 3 inches for the front part, and I'll go ahead to connect this, and I'll blend out the shoulder part of my shirt. I'll go down to the under bust, and I'll mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2. So that line, I will be cutting it open because if you notice at the under bust, there's this pleat effect there. So at the bust, I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4 and add my sewing allowance. Mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, add my sewing allowance. Mark my waist circumference divided by 4 and add my sewing allowance. So if you notice for this pattern, I did not use a dart. But if you want to go ahead to use it, you can add a dart to your dress and go ahead to blend it off before using it to cut out your pattern. So you're still going to arrive at the same pattern after you're done drafting out. Now going to the upper part, I will be using 1.5 inches for the shoulder part, and I will now go ahead to extend it all the way going towards the armhole. So from here, I'll just curve it all the way down to my under bust this way, and I'll go in with my marker to outline. So feel free to reshape if yours does not really come out very well. Now I'll underline my under bust because you'll be cutting that out, and I will go ahead to extend the neckline of my dress. So after I'm done doing that, for your basque length, you can use 3 inches, or if you want it to be more, you can go down by 4 inches, but do not exceed 3 or 4 inches. So after this, I'll just go ahead to connect to the end. So now I'll go ahead to cut out the rest of my pattern before we proceed to the next step. So after cutting this up, so this is your button allowance. You want to fold in with half and then fold in with 1 inch this way, and you're going to top stitch it. That is when you're sewing. Then go ahead to attach your button for this side. So this part I marked, now you'll be opening it up, then place and slash and spread. That is when you're sewing it to get that pleat. So after you're done doing this, you will do this for both sides of your shirt. After doing that, you're going to place both of them together overlapping, just like you see in the picture. Then you're just going to hold it down at the lower part. So now you're also going to fold in this under bust part of your shirt. So what you're going to do now is you're going to get the other side, place it on it, and you're going to holding it down as one piece. The only difference from the upper part and the lower part is that for the upper part, you just place it together and stitch 1/2 inch here just to hold it together. But for this part, you're going to overlap it and top stitch it as one piece. So if you're not clear on this, you can also leave the question at the comment section. So now I will be working on the upper part of the dress, which is the collar part. And to do that, I'll introduce another pattern paper. So there are two ways to cut out the neckline. Either you just attach only the collar, or you just go ahead to cut out a neckline and use it to attach the collar. So I'm using the neckline, a basic neckline of 3 by 1 inch, and I'll just go ahead to connect. So remember the shoulder, we came in by 1.5. This 1.5 now, you'll be transferring it here. And I'll go ahead to use that 1.5 inches to cut to the end of this pattern. So you'll be joining this at the collar part of this shirt. So just like I said, there are two methods of cutting this out. The one you just cut this pattern, replace, or you just take the measurement you have here, so that when you're cutting the collar at the back part, there won't be any joining to any back pattern. That is just joining the collar at the back directly to the front. Another method is just this one we are using now to cut out the back neckline, and we are going to attach a collar to it. So now we are going to take the round measurement of our neckline. So go ahead and place your tape, and you're going to go ahead to take this all round. So what I have here now is 9.5. Remember, you're going to be attaching your collar after you're done sewing. So moving over to the side, you want to go ahead and cut out what you attach to the back. So it has to start from where your basque by the side stops. And please, when you're cutting yours, make sure your band gets up to the underbust, probably 1 inch above your underbust. So now for the collar, I'll mark that 9.1 inches I have, and I will divide this into 2 and mark, that is the 1/2 inch. So from here, I'll come up by 1/2 inch and I'll connect. This is to make the collar part sit properly on the neckline of the dress. So after I'm done marking this, I'll just go ahead and I will connect this to that point. Now from this line, I'll go ahead to outline. For the collar stand, I will be using 1 inch. So I'll be doing a cut together collar, like one piece collar. You don't need to cut out your collar stand and the collar. I'll be cutting it together. So after this, you want to go in by 1 inch. Now decide the length of your collar. If you want to use 3 inches or 2.5 inches, you're going to go ahead to mark. So go ahead to use 3 inches, and I'm going to continue marking this to the other side where I came in by 1 inch, and I'll go ahead to connect. So now after I'm done connecting, I'll place my ruler and connect this. So after you're done connecting, so at that point we'll be coming out by 1/2 inch on this part, and I'll go ahead to reconnect it. So this is how the collar will be sitting. So after I'm done marking this now, I'm just going to blend in here so that it will not be too pointy. Go down by 1/2 inch here, and I will reconnect it to my collar. So this is my collar stand and this is my collar. I'll go ahead to cut this out. So if you find this tutorial very interesting and educative, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and also join me in my next video. So you'll be attaching this collar to this part of your dress.